ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। Adi Shankaracharya, we know, has made such significant contributions in a short span of 32 years in his contemporary society, and that has proved to be such a blessing for all the future generations. Yeah. So Swamiji, Puja Swamiji would say Shankaracharya is no less than an avatara, Rama Krishna avatara, and he is a Upadhi Vishesha. Upadhi Vishesha means a very special manifestation. Yeah. So what is so special about Shankaracharya? Most of it we already know. But what is really special is how Adi Shankaracharya made the knowledge available to all sections of the society. Yeah? And how he integrated, unified the whole country under the banner of Sanatana Dharma. Yeah? And this is often called the three-tier literature. Yeah, three-tier. So for those who had an excellent foundation of Sanskritam and a very good grounding of logic, yeah, there was the Prasthanatrayam. We know the Prasthanatrayam is the threefold royal pursuit of knowledge. Yeah, and he is known as the Bhashyakara. As Bhashyakara, he has written extensive commentaries on the 10 Upanishads, on the 18 chapters of the Bhagavad Gita, and the Brahma Sutra, sutras composed by Vedavyasa. That is one tier. Yeah? But then he felt the need to also compose shorter texts on Vedanta called a Prakarana. Yeah? A Prakarana is called a treatise in English. Yeah? Treatise is a short text, but which also has the essence of Vedanta. Yeah? And there are so many prakaranas. Shankaracharya would have written maybe 30 to 40 prakaranas. Yeah, I have not counted them all. So every prakarana will highlight some aspect of the Shastra. Yeah. For example, Viveka Chudamani, which is known as the crest jewel of discrimination. Yeah. That highlights the Panchakosha Viveka. Yeah. Then today's Ekashloki Prakarana, one verse Prakarana, highlights the Tvam Padam. Tvam Padam is the Jiva. Yeah? And so the Prakaranas are meant for those who have some knowledge of Sanskritam, yeah, and who can approach the same topic, Atma Tattvam, with ease and comfort. Yeah? But then Shankaracharya also knows that what about the common man? Yeah? The majority of the people who have a devotional temperament, yeah, for them, he composed so many stotrams, 70, 80, maybe even 90 stotrams. And who does not know the beauty of Saundarya Lahari or Shivananda Lahari? Deities of all the deities, no? He's composed for Subramanyam and Shakpadi Stotram for Mahavishnu. And Shivamanasa Stotram, we recently studied Bhavani Ashtakam, so many stotrams. And some stotrams are treated as a prakarana. Yeah? For example, Dakshinamurti Stotram. Yeah, it is a stotram, but it is also a prakarana because it unfolds the essence of Vedanta. Yeah? Now, in his times, in Shankaracharya's times, it was not easy. This Vaidika Dharma was under the threat of extinction even then, 1200 years ago. Even today, there are so many challenges to this survival of Sanatana Dharma. So there were people who believed in blind rituals, superstitions, and also matams were there. Matams means schools of thought. Yeah. So there are the Shat Darshanas. You may have heard about them. Shat Darshanas are the 6 schools of philosophy. Yoga, Sankhya, Nyaya, Vaisheshika, Purva Mimamsa, and sixth is Vedanta. Yeah, Vedanta is included. Now, these matams, they had their own perception of the Atma Tattvam, how to view Ishvara. Yeah. For example, in the Jaina Matham, the Tattvam is seen as atomic, and some Matams think there are many Atmas. Yeah. And Purva Mimamsas, they believe that karma alone leads to moksha. Yeah. You do your duty, don't worry about all this Atma Jnanam. So he was confronted with so many schools of thought and matams. Yeah? But what did Shankaracharya do? The great Adi Shankaracharya, who was an intellectual genius, he allowed the people to have the freedom. You be free to believe what you want. But at the same time, with intellectual debates, like the one we saw with Mandana Mishra in Varanasi, he exposed the fallacies of all their ideologies. Yeah? And then finally, Adi Shankaracharya establishes the supremacy of Ekam Advitiyam Matam alone. That is Vedanta, the sixth one. Especially in the Brahma Sutras, we see how Adi Shankaracharya dismisses all the other schools of thought. It is something like, a point of view. Yeah. So we view all these matams, we're viewing the Atma Tattvam in a certain way. So everybody is right in his or own way. But Shankaracharya said 1 + 1 cannot be other than 2. Yeah. How can it be anything else? What is right is right. Yeah. So, without getting upset or angry, by the force of his logic and thorough knowledge, he was able to prove the supremacy of Ekam Advityam, knowledge of Atma Tattvam. Yeah. And hence we see that he has composed so many prakaranas and so many stotrams, yeah, which show this kind of samanvayam. Yeah. Now, samanvayam means a reconciliation. Yeah. Reconciliation. That is, there will be a common thread. Yeah, the common thread and the baseline will be firm. Yeah. But the stories will be different, dialogues will be different, stotrams, prakaranas, sutras, and mantras, they all differ. But the content, the essence is one. Yeah. So that is the great Adi Shankaracharya. And we have seen many prakaranas. So we will see one more today. So we'll start with this prayer, which everybody is familiar with. Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Padam Shankaram Lokashankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutrabhashya Kritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punaha. So this shloka is in praise of Adi Shankaracharya, who is an alayam. Alayam means a temple, a repository. So Adi Shankaracharya is a temple or a treasure house of Shruti, Smriti, and Puranas. Yeah, and Karunalayam. Unto that Bhagavat Padam Shankaram, who is Shamkaroti, who is a Mangalam to the society. Aham Namami, I salute. Yeah. Then Shankaracharya we know is called Bhashyakara. And Badarayana is Vedavyasa. Vedavyasa is called Sutrakara. Yeah. And both are considered incarnations. Bhagavan Shankaracharya is a manifestation of Shiva Tattvam and Vedavyasa of Keshava, Narayana. Now, yeah, here I thought I would share this picture. So Mahasannidhanam in this picture, Mahasannidhanam is gifting our Puja Swamiji with the first Adi Shankaracharya award granted in Tirunelveli. Yeah, I think it was in 2013 or 14. Yeah, so their institution, the Sringeri Matham, has this award and title for recognizing a person for their contribution. So because of Puja Swamiji's dedication and commitment to Shankara's works and the teaching tradition for over 40, 50 years, Swamiji is receiving this award. Yeah. And see what Mahasannidhanam says about Shankaracharya. Yeah. For those people who have not learned the Shastras, means who cannot be immersed in these Shastras, exclusively and totally, but who possess some knowledge of Sanskritam, there are the prakaranas like Viveka Chudamani, Sarva Vedanta Siddhanta Sara, Sangraha, Upadesha Sahasri, etc. Now, these texts will contain so many verses. Yeah, some have 500, 1200. So, for those who have some knowledge of Sanskritam, yeah, so thanks to our regional languages, our native languages, we are kind of familiar with Sanskritam. Yeah. So for them, the prakaranas are useful. Yeah. So Shatashloki is 100 verses. Now, Mahaswamigal says, if this is too lengthy, then there is Dashashloki, 10 verses. Yeah. If even that is too lengthy, no time for the busy person today, then just simply read the Ekashloki. One verse prakarana, in which Sri Shankaracharya imparts the highest truth in just one verse. Yeah? And concludes saying, his compassion is beyond our comprehension, and it is our bounden duty to offer at least one namaskara, prostration to him every day. Yeah? Now you can see these acharyas, how devoted they are to these works. No? They live the wisdom and they share the wisdom. And these are the golden words of the glorious Guru. Yeah? Now, just to give you a bird's eye view, some of the prakaranas, most of which we have covered, my students, senior students, we have done about 10 or 12 such prakaranas. Ekashloki has one verse. Pratasmarana, is to be chanted early morning. Yeah, ideally. Yeah? Has the 3 verses yet to do. Then Sadhana Panchakam, if you remember, is the last instructions given by Adi Shankaracharya to his close disciples. Yeah, 40 instructions in 5 verses. Yeah, I hope you all remember. Manisha Panchakam is again the 5 verses where Adi Shankaracharya confronts the sweeper in Varanasi. Yeah, Kaupina Panchakam talks about the sannyasi, how simple and glorious the life of a sadhu is. Then Nirvana Shatkam of 6 verses is when Adi Shankaracharya, traveled 2000 kilometers from Kaladi to the Narmada Valley to meet his guru, Govindapadananda. And Kosi is the question. Kaha asi? Who are you, my child? When the guru asks, Shankaracharya responds with the Nirvana Shatkam. Then Shatpadi Stotram is a beautiful stotram in praise of Mahavishnu. 6 verses. Yeah? Dakshinamurti Stotram we have covered last year around this time. There are 8 verses plus 2 are Phalashruti. Yeah? Then Dashashloki is 10. Hastamalaka Stotram has 12 verses. It is not composed by Adi Shankaracharya, but by his disciple, the youngest disciple. If you see that group picture, you will see a very young, innocent looking, sadhu, barely a teenager. That is the Hastamalaka Acharya, who has written this Hastamalaka Stotram of 12 verses, and Adi Shankaracharya, his guru, writes a commentary on it. Yeah. You can imagine how great that text must be. We have done that also. Then Bhaja Govindam, of course, is very well known. 30 shlokas, Drik Drishya, 40 plus. Then Atma Bodha is 60 plus. Tattva Bodha is a must, as I always say, because it clarifies our basic understanding terminology of Vedanta. Yeah? Shatashloki is 100. Then Viveka Chudamani is very beautiful, 581. And Puja Swamiji picked, I think, 108 verses from the 581 shlokas. And there is a book which you can get, 108 verses of Viveka Chudamani. Yeah? And then finally, we have the Upadesha Sahasri. Upadesha Sahasri has about 19 chapters and it has 1000 Sahasra shlokas and covers everything in detail, karmas, knowledge, the sadhanas, the adhikaritvam, everything. So you see the greatness of Shankaracharya, what can be said in 1000 verses, he's able to condense in lesser than that and in the minimum of one shloka. And that is the Ekashloki, which we are going to see today. Yeah? Now, every one of these prakaranas, there will be a highlight. For example, Tattva Bodha, we saw the Sharira Traya Prakriya there. Yeah, Viveka Chudamani has Pancha Kosha Prakriya will be highlighted. So like that, different teaching methodologies will be highlighted. So even though the content and essence is the same, but the approach may be different. Yeah. So for a serious student of Vedanta, it is always good to study various texts again and again. So it is like we are appreciating a diamond from different viewpoints. Yeah. Yeah. Then you may have heard of Ekashlokis for other itihasas also. There is a Ekashloki for Bhagavatam, then for Ramayana, and for Sundarakandam, Mahabharatam. So where somebody has composed one verse and there will be the essence of the entire itihasa. Yeah. For example, let's take this Bhagavatam. Yeah. Adau devaki devagarbha jananam gopi grihe vardhanam maya putana jeevitapaharanam govardhanodharanam Kamsachedana Kauravadi Hananam Kunti Tanujavanam Etad Bhagavatam Purana Kathitam Sri Krishna Leelamritam. Familiar meter for us. So like that, we have Ekashlokis for Ramayana and Mahabharatam and Sundarakandam also. Yeah. So today, the Ekashloki that we are going to see is by Shankaracharya, how he brings us the essence of Vedanta. The essence of Vedanta is the Atma Jyoti in one single verse. Yeah. And the same thing can be elaborately he has done in 1000 verses of Upadesha Sahasri. Yeah. And Acharya defines the Vedantic Bhakti. Yeah. Bhakti as Swaswarupa Sandhanam. Swaswarupa Sandhanam means how can I continuously contemplate on the truth of my Swarupa, of my true nature. Yeah. And Ekashloki is exactly about that, to discover the supreme reality and the light of all lights, which is Atma Jyoti. Yeah. And you can see this beautiful statue, recently unveiled in Kedarnath, where Bhagavan Adi Shankaracharya gave up his body and attained Mahasamadhi. Yeah. Now, this Ekashloki is based on a very familiar text of the Upanishads, yeah, which is called Swayam Jyotir Brahmana section of the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. Yeah. Now, the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad is Brihad Aranyaka. From the name you can guess it is a huge Upanishad, Brihad, and it is a Aranya, forest. Yeah. It has got so many mantras, and in our course we did not complete the whole Upanishad. It's impossible. We did a few sections here and there. Now, one section is called Swayam Jyotir Brahmana. Brahmana is that section. Yeah? Swayam Jyotir Brahmana section of the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. Now, there, what happens is there is a dialogue between the king Janaka and the sage Yagnavalkya. Now, King Janaka, we know by now, was mentioned in the Gita also. The great king is a able administrator, but a total sannyasi at heart. The king Janaka was quoted as an example for Jnana Karma Sannyasi in the Gita. Yeah, the internal sannyasi. Yeah, with perfect detachment and total attention to details, he was ruling the kingdom. So King Janaka would have all these debates and discussions in his court. Yeah, even women like Sulabha, Gargi, Maitri, they would also come to the court and challenge the jnanis with their questions. Yeah. Now, this Ekashloki is the essence of this section of the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, where King Janaka asks his doubt to the sage Yagnavalkya. Yeah, and so this is in the form of a dialogue. Yeah. Now we will see that dialogue first before we come to the Ekashloki. So what is Janaka's doubt? He says, Bhoho, O Yagnavalkya, what is the light by which all human beings transact in the world? No? Now see, we are clear that for any activity, we need light, right? Means for most of the activities, yeah? Most of the activities are done in daylight, is it not? So Janaka is asking the question, is this light an internal light or an external light? Yeah. So he asks Yajnavalkya, what is that light by which one performs activities in the world? Obviously, what is the answer going to be? The sun. So Yajnavalkya says it is the sun, it is the Aditya Jyoti by which one does all the transactions. This is very obvious, when the sun rises, the world springs to activity, and we get up maybe before sunrise or hopefully latest by sunrise, and then activities begin, This is very obvious. Then Janaka says, okay, that's pretty clear. Then when the sun sets, the day is over, still there are some transactions to be done, some activities. Where from does one get the light for those transactions? When it is dark. In today's times, we can imagine the people who are doing night duty or returning home after dark. So when the sun is set, how are they going to do their activities? We have to imagine the Vedic times, 1,000 years ago, there were no artificial lights. What did those people do? Then Yagnavalkya's answer is the moon. By moonlight, Chandra Jyoti. So the moon does give light, and even nakshatras, the stars, they also radiate light, and one is able to see something at least. It's not pitch dark. So Chandra Jyoti. Then Janaka continues. But then when the moon has set, the sun has also set, both are not available, then what is the light by which activities happen? You see the understanding of this king. He knows that there is not even a moment when activities don't happen. Actions continue in all the three states, Jagrat, Swapna, and Sushupti. Whether the sun and moon are there or not, activities continue. Then what is the light by which those activities happen? Is Janaka's question. Then those days there were no mobile phones, no torchlight. So then what is an answer of Yagnavalkya? Agni, fire. One gets the light from Agni Jyoti. So one would light a fire or strike a match, whatever was available. And then Janaka says, okay, it is Amavasya, sun has set, there is no fire at hand. Then how would one transact in the absence of sun, moon, and Agni? Let's say you have to go somewhere, or you have to return home, or you have to find something, or talk to somebody. How will one transact? Then Yajnavalkya says, then our senses, they are going to help us. Sometimes when it is very dark, then we can strain our ear. Yeah, we want to hear, is a dog barking somewhere? Are some people talking somewhere? Or the sense of smell. The sense of smell can pick up a scent, and our sense organs can give us some hint, some clue what to do. Yeah. So what is Yajnavalkya's answer here? Shabda Jyoti, but any sense, any of the senses. No, remember the case of Helen Keller. Yeah, Helen Keller was born, deaf, mute, and blind. But then her other two senses were enhanced. Yeah, she could feel, touch, and then she could smell. So she gained knowledge. She was able to transact using the remaining two senses. Then finally, Janaka goes on and on and on. This is his sabha. So Janaka says, when the senses are not operating, like when we go to sleep, transactions continue in the dream world. Yeah, when the mind is switched off in the deep sleep, then still transactions are going on. So what is the light? There is no sun, external sun is not there, moon is not there, stars not there, fire is not there, senses are not there, mind is not there. Then finally, Yajnavalkya says that light is the Swayam Jyoti Atma. Swayam Jyoti Swaprakasha Atma Jyoti Tattvam. That is Jyotisham Jyoti, light of all lights. We have seen this many times in the Avasthatraya Prakriya recently in the Kaivalya Upanishad, that the light of awareness or Atma continues in all the three states. So in the deep sleep state, there is the light of awareness. Yeah? And then that is how when we get up, there is a recall function. Yeah, I slept well. No, I don't know what I did, but I slept well. Yeah, that is because of the presence of some light. Yeah. And that light of awareness is what Yajnavalkya says is the Swayam Jyoti Atma, light of all lights. Yeah. So this section in the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad is called Swayam Jyotir Brahmana section. And if you remember, after meeting his guru, Shankaracharya, on his command, guru's command, he writes all the bhashyas for about 10 to 12 Upanishads by the age of 12. So, this section is, of course, well known to Adi Shankaracharya. Huh? Now, coming to our topic, which is Ekashloki, there is a story behind it, as with most of the Prakaranas. The story is, if you remember, Shankaracharya goes on a Digvijaya. Digvijaya is a tour, Mahans, they, to bless the people who cannot come to them, they go throughout the country to villages and cities and hold camps and bless the people. So at one time, Shankaracharya was visiting a village. Yeah. Now, in that village, there was a Pandita. There was a Pandita, a scholar, who was blind. Yeah. Who had lost his faculty of sight. And so he had isolated himself because, he was not feeling good about it and mentally he was feeling very afflicted. Yeah. But when he hears Adi Shankaracharya is coming to his own village, then he comes out, the Pandita, and does the namaskaras, and does pranams. Then Shankaracharya teaches him this very section of the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, Swayam Jyotir, about the Atma Jyoti. Yeah. And then he talks about all the dialogue between King Janaka and the sage Yajnavalkya. And then it is as though the Pandita, his inner eye is opened and he realizes. What does he realize? That the Atma Tattva is distinct from the body, mind, and sense organs. What if I've lost my faculty of sight? That belongs to the body, but not to me as Atma. Yeah. So by gaining this knowledge, he becomes free from his affliction which he had so far. Yeah. So Shankaracharya, how he has blessed him to recover from that state of isolation and affliction is the story. Yeah. Then based on that, then Shankaracharya composes the Ekashloki text, which is what we're going to see now. Yeah. This is the Ekashloki. And these are again longer lines here. So we will chant it in that Shardula Vikridita mantra. There is one shloka. For every 12 syllables, there'll be a pause. So this is not Anushtup or Trishtup, little different meter. And we will chant it. Maybe Lakshmi Garu can repeat after me. Yeah, my senior students, they all know this shloka. So everybody can chant today. Now, for Shabda Grahanam, Shabda Grahanam is we want to get familiar with the sounds, sounds and the aksharas first. Then later on, we look at the meaning. Yeah. So, Ekashloki. Are you unmuted? Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Kin jyotistava bhanumana hanime.
Kim jyotistava bhanumana hanime.
Ratrau pradipadikam.
Ratrau pradipadikam.
Kim jyotistava bhanumana hanime ratrau pradipadikam.
Kim jyotistava bhanumana hanime ratrau pradipadikam.
Syadevam ravideepadarshana vidhau.
Syadevam ravideepadarshana vidhau.
Kim jyotirakyahi me.
Kim jyotirakyahi me.
Syadevam ravideepadarshana vidhau. Kim jyotirakyahi me.
Syadevam ravideepadarshana vidhau. Kim jyotirakyahi me.
Chakshustasya nimilanadi samaye.
Chakshustasya nimilanadi samaye.
Kim dhirdhiyo darshane.
Kim dhirdhiyo darshane.
Kim tatrahamato bhavan paramakam.
Kim tatrahamato bhavan paramakam.
Jyotistadasmi prabho.
Jyotistadasmi prabho.
Kim tatrahamato bhavan paramakam. Jyotistadasmi prabho.
Kim tadahamat tatra. Sorry. Kim tatrahamato bhavan paramakam. Jyotistadasmi prabho.
I'll chant the whole shloka. Then after that, you can repeat again.
Yes.
Kim jyotistava bhanumana hanime ratrau pradipadikam. Syadevam ravideepadarshana vidhau. Kim jyotirakyahi me. Chakshustasya nimilanadi samaye. Kim dhirdhiyo darshane. Kim tatrahamato bhavan paramakam. Jyotistadasmi prabho.
Kim jyotistava bhanumana hanime ratrau pradipadikam. Syadevam ravideepadarshana vidhau. Kim jyotirakyahi me. Chakshustasya nimilanadi samaye. Kim dhirdhiyo darshane. Kim tatrahamato bhavan paramakam. ज्योतिस्तदस्मि प्रभो.
Very nice. Thank you. How about Sunita? Again, we won't do part by part the whole shloka. If you listen a few times, everybody will become familiar. That's the idea here. Kim jyotistava bhanumanahani ratrau pradipadikam syadevam ravideepa darshana vidhau kim jyotirakyahi me chakshustasya nimilanadi samaye किं धीर्धियो दर्शने किं तत्राहमतो भवान् परमकं ज्योतिस्तदस्मि प्रभो.
किं ज्योतिस्तव भानुमानहनिमे रात्रौ प्रदीपादिकं स्यादेवं रविदीपदर्शनविधौ किं ज्योतिराख्याहि मे चक्षुस्तस्य निमीलनादिसमये किं धीर्धियो दर्शने किं तत्राहमतो भवान् परमकं ज्योतिस्तदस्मि प्रभो.
Thank you. Jayashree, would you like to try?
Oh, Mama.
Oh. Yeah, you start. Oh.
Kim should I?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Kim jyotistava bhanuman ahanime ratrau pradipadikam syadevam ravideepa darshana vidhau kim jyotirakyahi me chakshustasya nimilanadi samaye kim dhirdhayo darshane kim tatrahamato bhavan paramakam jyotistadasmi prabho.
Thank you.
Oh.
Now, how about Radha? So Radha will sing it in a nice melody for us.
Yes, ma'am. Okay. Yeah. Kim jyotistava bhanumanahani ratrau prathipadikam syadevam ravidhipadarshana vidhau kim jyotirakhyahi me चक्षुस्तस्य निमीलनाधिसमये किं धीर्धियो दर्शने किं तत्राहमतो भवान् परमकं ज्योतिस्तदस्मि प्रभो.
Thank you. Very nice. A freestyle.
Thank you, Ma. Thank you.
Now, how about Lata? Lata Kalla.
Mama. Kim jyotistava bhanuman ahanime ratrau pradipadikam syadevam ravideepadarshana vidhau kim jyotirakhyahi me chakshustasya nimilanadi samaye kim dhirdiyo darshane kim tatrahamato bhavan paramakam jyotistadasmi prabho.
Thank you. Usha, can you also chant?
Om Mama Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Kim jyotistava bhanumanahani ratrau pratipadikam syadevam ravideepa darshana vidhau kim jyotirakhyahi me chakshustasya nimilanadi samaye kim dhirdiyo darshane kim tatrahamato bhavan paramakam
So you see, little bit of Sanskritam knowledge always helps, no, in the pronunciation. And all those who chanted are all Sanskrit students. Okay, so yeah, if you're inspired to study Sanskritam, then please go ahead. Now, let us see the meaning. What is the meaning of this shloka? Yeah? First, let me break it. For Sanskrit students, maybe this part would be interesting. Kim jyotihi tava. Kim jyotihi tava is, for you, what is the light? So this Ekashloki, which is an essence of the Swayam Jyoti Brahmana of the Upanishad, is composed by Adi Shankaracharya in the form of a dialogue, Q&A between the Guru and Shishya. So the Guru asks, Kim Jyotihi Tava? What is the light for you? The same question that Janaka asked Yajnavalkya. So, Kim Jyotihi Tava? What is the answer? Bhanuman Ahani Me. Me means for me, the sun, Bhanuman, in the day, Ahani. Bhanuman Ahani Me. Yeah? Then we have to imagine the next question is, what about when the sun sets? Then Ratrau Pradipadikam. In the night, Ratrau, the Shishya answers, Pradipa Adi. Pradipa means another source of light. It could be fire, but it could be a torch, could be a glowworm. Pradipadikam. Adi Padartha means etc. So whatever you can have, mobile phone these days, is a source of light at night. Remember our grandparents all had those lanterns. Yeah, that is a pradipa, pradipadikam. Syad evam. No? Syad evam means okay, let it be so. Tathastu, fine. Syad, who says that? Guru. True. Yeah. Then Ravi Deepa Darshana Vidhau Kim Jyotihi Akhyahi Me is the next question. Akhyahi Me means tell me. Akhyahi Me Kim Jyotihi. What is the light by which you see Ravi and all these deepas? Yeah? How do you say you see the sun and the moon and the stars and this fire? Yeah? How do you perceive them? Yeah? So you see this, when we close our eyes, there is no sun. Yeah. So the sun may be shining, but it will be shining and visible for me only when my eyes are functioning. So what is the answer of the Shishya? Chakshuhu. One word answer, Chakshuhu, eye. Yeah? Then the Guru continues. Yeah? Tasya nimilanadi samaye kim. When the eye is closed, what is the light? When you are sleeping, or like that Pandita, to whom Shankaracharya is blessing him, he says you've lost the faculty of sight, but still you can know. How do you know what is the light? Then the answer is dhihi. Again, one word answer, dhihi. Dhihi means intellect or mind or buddhi, whatever you can say. The mind, we have seen this elaborately in Tattva Bodha, how the mind can know things even without the senses, yeah, sense organ. Yeah. Then the question is, Dhiyaha Darshane. Dhiyaha Darshane means for the perception of the intellect. How is the intellect able to know what is the light which lights up the intellect? Kim. Yeah. Then the Shishya is a very intelligent Shishya, Adhikari student. He says, Tatra Aham. Tatra Aham. That is me. Yeah. So what does the Shishya mean? The Shishya is saying that is the Atma Jyoti. That I am. Swayam Jyoti, Swayam Prakasha Atma is making my mind or intellect sentient. The mind or intellect activates the sense organs. Sense organs perceive the body and the whole world, including sun, moon, stars, people, everything. Yeah. So what is the ultimate light? That is what the Shishya says. Aham, tatra aham, I myself. So the Guru, he agrees, obviously. He says, Ataha bhavan paramakam jyotihi. And hence, my dear Shishya, you are the paramakam jyotihi. You are that supreme light, which you yourself have answered, the light that illumines the intellect, the sense organs, the body, and the whole world. Yeah. And then what is the last quarter? Tat asmi Prabho. So Shishya addresses the Guru as Prabho. Oh Lord, oh Bhagavan, my Guru, Tat asmi. Indeed, I am that. Yeah. So the Guru has said Tat Tvamasi, Tat Paramakam Jyotihi Tvam, and the Shishya has answered Aham Brahma Asmi. Tat Asmi He Prabhu. Yeah. So this is the famous dialogue of this Ekashloki. You can read it again. When the Guru says, what is the light for you? Light by which you know the sun during the day, and the lamp, moon, or stars in the night. No? You have to imagine Amavasya night. No, we need some source of light. Okay. But how is it that you are able to say that sun is shining, moon is shining, stars are out there? How do you say that? Obviously the eye, yeah, eyes are perceiving. But when the eye is closed, yeah, or not functioning, then how do you know things? Intellect, buddhi, yeah, the buddhi. And then, but how does the buddhi function? How is the buddhi able to perceive and understand and connect things about the world? And then the disciple says, Tat aham atma jyotihi. And the Guru says, confirms his answer and says, yes, indeed, bhavan paramakam jyotihi. You are indeed the supreme light. No? So you see, this Ekashloki, the prakriya that is used here, which prakriya is it? Which teaching methodology? It is called Arundhati Darshanam Nyaya. Now, the Arundhati Darshanam, we all know is the ritual in the marriages, a beautiful ritual where, the bride is asked to look up to the sky and spot Arundhati to take the blessing, right? So she looks up to the sky, but she cannot spot it, but of course that ritual is over and they say, okay, fine, manasika panidugo. So you do it mentally. But what is the significance of that? This Ekashloki, is based on that. So Arundhati Darshanam is, supposing we want to spot that star, then, somebody will take us out and say, okay, you look at the moon, moon in the western direction. Yes. Now, do you see a constellation of stars next to the moon? Yes. Do you see the tail of that constellation? Yes. Do you see 3 stars in that tail? Yes. Do you see the middle star? Yes. Yeah. Is that Arundhati? No. Then you see a tiny glow next to the middle star of the group of 3 stars. Yes, that is Arundhati. Yeah. So this is a prakriya or a teaching methodology by which the Guru takes us from the known object, the moon, yeah, the known object, the body is known, it is gross, it is visible. And then step by step, the Guru will take us through the subtler and subtler object and finally reveals the subtlemost tattvam, and that is the Atma Tattvam, Swayam Prakashaha Atma Tattvam. Yeah? So that is the prakriya used in this Ekashloki. Arundhati Darshana Nyaya, it is called, or simply Arundhati Darshanam. There's another name for this, Shakha Chandra Nyaya. Similar to this. No? Now, to sum up, Yeah. So there is this famous mantra from the Kathopanishad, which in all our temples, we chant it as the Arati mantra. Na tatra suryo bhati na chandra tarakam. Na tatra suryo bhati na chandra tarakam. Nima vidyato bhanti kutoyam agnihi. Nima vidyato bhanti kutoyam agnihi. Tameva bhantam anubhati sarvam. Tameva bhantam anubhati sarvam. Tasya bhasa sarvamidam vibhati. Tasya bhasa sarvamidam vibhati. So the priest is showing the arati to Bhagavan Murti in the temple and chanting this mantra. Yeah. So this, what does the mantra say? Na tatra suryaha bhati na chandra tarakam na ima vidyutaha bhanti kutaha ayam agnihi. So the priest is saying, oh Bhagavan, I am holding this small arati before you. You are the light of all lights. You are illumining everything in the world. You are the Jyoti, illumining the sense organs, mind and body and all the activities, the whole world. And I am just showing you this little arati to light you up. How can this arati light up Bhagavan? Yeah, so this is the upachara. Upachara it's a symbolic ritual. So what this mantra says is, the sun cannot illumine Atma Jyoti. The moon, the stars, lightning, vidyut, and this Agni, this Arati, all these cannot illumine Atma. But Tameva Bhantam, but Atma Jyoti, which is an independent source of light, sentience, then what? Sarvam Anubhati. Everything shines by the light of Atma. Tasya bhasa sarvamidam vibhati. By the light of Atma Jyoti, everything is revealed and shines. Yeah? Now we should, of course, not imagine this Atma Jyoti as a literal flame or like a sun. No. Atma Jyoti, we know, is the light of awareness, the light of knowledge, which dispels the darkness in my mind. Yeah. So very important Arati mantra here. Tasya bhasa sarvamidam vibhati. That Atma Jyoti, how it lights up everything. Yeah. And I am that Param Jyoti. Yeah, Param Jyoti, which lights up everything. And a similar shloka, some of you would have, connected with the Gita, chapter 15. Yeah. Na tad bhasayate suryaha, na shashanko na pavakaha, yad gatvana nivartante, tad dhama paramam mama. So that is the significance of this Ekashloki, which uses the Prakriya Arundhati Darshanam, by which the Guru guides the mind of the student from the gross and the visible sources of light, inner and inner, to the subtlemost Atma Tattvam, which is the Jyotisham Jyoti, the light of all the lights. Yeah. So that is our Ekashloki, very simple, but very, very profound. Kim jyotistava bhanumana hanime ratrau pradhipadikam syadevam ravideepa darshana vidhau kim jyotirakhyahime chakshustasya nimilanadi samaye kim dhirdhiyo darshane kim tatrahamato bhavan paramakam Jyotistadasmi Prabho. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ॐ तत्सत्।